Hi, good morning. I have the pleasure here to see Pascal and Piotr, and they're both international lawyers. And today we talk a very hot topic, new energy. Pascal, I heard that new energy is a very hot topic in Taiwan. Could you share more insights about this?
New energy, renewable energy is a very hot topic for the last 2 years in Taiwan. We have been seeing investments from Europe for up to 20 billion US for the last few years, and upcoming probably 20 billion US more coming from Europe and maybe from North America. In the offshore wind power, the winds of Taiwan are probably one of the best in the world, and nobody knows, but this is a reality. And also in terms of solar energy, there will be a huge demand, so a lot of opportunities for people to invest in Taiwan.
Piotr, how is the situation in Poland? Is it similar exciting like in Taiwan?
Yes, indeed, it is similar exciting. Frankly speaking, the renewable energy started in Poland like a couple already years ago, but recently it's booming again. Because we had certain period of slowdown in the wind energy over last year, but now again it develops rapidly, mainly thanks to the fact of the new legislation, which allows a construction of the offshore wind parks, and this is the biggest new market in Poland here, but also on the loosening some restrictions relating to construction of the onshore wind parks. And of course, solar energy is also developing, even in Poland, in our climate. But here the main focus is on the small and medium-sized installations.
Thank you, Piotr. How about the special incentives in Taiwan, Pascal? Is there something that foreign investors might be interested in?
Well, incentives can be defined in different ways. I think the main figure you need to know is about the interesting tariff investors can get if they are developed in energy project in Taiwan. So basically, the pricing offered to operators and developers is quite very interesting for offshore wind power, also for solar energy. What we know is actually for solar energy, the tariff is even much higher than in Europe. So for sure, there are great financial rewards for investors. The proof is many operators invested in Taiwan recently, even banks. We had a Canadian bank who just invested 2.7 billion US in a project in Taiwan, and this is a very small project compared to the rest. So yes, there are a lot of incentives in terms of pricing and return on investment.
Piotr, we are also very interested in the situation in Poland about incentives. Is that something that investors can also have, government incentives, other kind of incentives?
Yes, of course. Also in Poland, different incentive schemes are available. They are present on the different levels. So you may apply for the subsidy, or you may apply for the preferential loan when you develop the renewable energy installation. But I think that the most important is a solution which is in a way similar to Taiwan solution. So that when you sell the energy coming from the renewable sources, you got certain additional funds for this. There is certain auctioning system which allows you to sell energy from the renewable sources for the simply higher fee. And one additional thing that I wanted to add, you still have, for instance, very interesting incentive programs aimed to in the R&D area, so the research and development of the renewable resources. I think that the most interesting is the one which aims to help zero emission installation for the hydrogen production. So the idea to develop hydrogen production using renewable energy resources. It coming here and getting here a solution, it would be a real breakthrough, I think.
Very interesting. That's amazing. Pascal, what I realized when you talk about Taiwan, you're always throwing around big numbers. Is it only for the big guys that they get incentives, or for them to invest in Taiwan, or is it for other smaller companies as well also interesting?
Well, Richard, the good point with this big amount of investment is that there's enough cake for everybody. So we, of course, big players are coming with heavy investments from out of Taiwan, but they take with them a lot of smaller firms. A lot of mid-sized companies are coming mostly in the service industry or in the supply chain. And we have Ecovis, for instance. We advise a lot of mid-sized companies, and we are happy to see that a lot of them are coming to Taiwan, and they have their own, I would say, source of income, which is not negligible. It's quite significant. So even if you're a small firm, there are a lot of opportunities in Taiwan if you bring the right value to the project, for sure.
Thank you. How about in Poland, Piotr? Same, also for the small guys, possible to catch some incentives and to have is it a good idea to invest in Poland in the new energy section?
Of course, it is. Our market is open for anyone. All companies can benefit from subsidies, but of course we must take into account the business context. If you plan to invest in the offshore wind park, you need billions probably to make proper size investments. On the other hand, when it comes to the wind parks, onshore wind parks, the situation is a little better because there are a lot of companies dealing with this. So you can make acquisition of the existing wind park, you can make acquisition of the existing project, and you may develop for your benefit. So it all depends on the market that you are operating on. And of course, in the case of the solar wind parks, sometimes these investments are, frankly speaking, not too much capital intensive. So that's market for everyone. There are for the different players of the different sizes.
Interesting, Pascal. From the European view, Taiwan is far away, and Taiwan is, for European view, is not so far away from China or other jurisdictions. And some of the foreign investors might wonder: is it legally safe to invest in Taiwan? What is your comment about that?
Oh, that's a very good question, because I think the answer nobody knows out of Taiwan. So let me clarify for you. Taiwan is based on a legal system that has been developed in Germany. We have a civil code that is derived from the BGB from Germany, civil code with a mix of French civil code, and it's very easy for us to manage that. Taiwan is a member of the WTO, and a lot of regulations are based on international practice and regulations. It's a country with a rule of law as a principle. Of course, people have to know that there are some local specificities sometimes, but this is normal in every country. But for sure, the legal system has no, I would say, abnormal stuff as you could see in some other countries. It's very, very safe. And if you see so many investors coming from abroad to Taiwan today, I think they know where they put their feet in. So it's really safe for sure. And then, of course, you need to play with rules in the best way. But this is a real country where the rule of law is respected.
Yeah. Thank you, Pascal. I think we can sum it up now, if you both agree. It's a very interesting time for anyone who wants to invest in new energy. Could go to Taiwan, could go to Poland. It's safe to invest. You have a good advisor. Yeah. Any final words from one of you about this?
Just want to take the opportunity to thank Richard, Ulf, and all the Ecovis team for sharing our small experience with a bigger network. We are lucky to have Ecovis as a huge network today, but of course we are happy to be a small part of a big thing.
Well, thank you for that. I think it's important to know that we have almost 9,000 people in 80 countries, and lawyers can help and protect you everywhere, right?